Hello, friends. Our story today is brought to you live from Asher and Isla's bedroom. Asher and Isla, can you say hi?
Hi. Hi.
Hi. We are here. Oh, and also Brielle, she's here. Oh, and Asher wanted to show you his shirt. Super.
Dude.
Oh, other way.
Oh, super dude.
Whoa, very cool. All right, let's get started with our story today. Our story today is the story that some of you are probably fairly familiar with. It's the story of Jesus feeding a bunch of people. But since we're acting the story out at home, we didn't have a bunch of people. So instead, our story is going to be we're going to pretend that all of these stuffed animals are the crowds of people. So, and Asher and Isla are the disciples. So our story starts with tons and tons of people who had been hearing about what Jesus was teaching and all of the miracles he was doing. And so they started gathering all around. They came because they wanted to hear the miracles that Jesus was going to do, or see the miracles he was going to do. And it was getting really late in the day. Jesus had been teaching, and the people had been listening and just having such a great time learning. But they were getting really, really hungry. And so it was getting dark, and Asher and Isla, the disciples, they said, what do you say to Jesus? Tell him to go home. Can you say that? Say, tell him to go home.
Tell him to go home.
Oh, and you know what Jesus said? Oh, we won't send him home. I know. We'll feed them. Make really surprised faces. What? We can't feed all of these people. That's what they were thinking, because there's so many people gathered all around. There's no way we could feed that many people. And so Jesus said, does anybody have any food? And Asher, did anybody have any food?
No.
Wait, didn't one person have some food?
Yeah.
What? Who had some food?
A little boy.
There was a little boy, and what did he have?
Fish and bread.
He had some fish and some bread. And so he brought his fish and his bread to Jesus, and Jesus prayed. And after he prayed, he gave the food to his disciples. You guys can take it.
Heidi.
He gave his food to his disciples, and there just kept being more and more food. There was food for everyone. To start handing it out.
Heidi's here. That's here.
There was so much food that there was enough for everyone. Jesus had performed a miracle, and when it seemed like there was only enough food for one small boy, suddenly there was enough food for all of the crowds of people. Do you know what I love about this story?
What?
In this story, before the story even happens, the Bible says that Jesus went to a quiet place to pray early in the morning. And then after he went to the quiet place to pray, that's when all the crowds started coming around to listen to him teach. And you know why I think that's so special? Because do you know what Jesus was doing when he was in the quiet place?
No.
He was praying. And do you know why he was praying?
Why?
Because he was asking the Father what to do. Pretty much every miracle in the Bible, if you read it, it's kind of like a treasure hunt. And at the beginning of the story, you can find a spot where it says, Jesus went to a quiet place to pray and hear what the Father told him what to do before he started his work for that day. So in our story today, before he made, oh wow, these fish that you guys made are so beautiful. I have to make sure. Before before the miracle of Jesus feeding 5,000 people, first with the fish and the bread, before that happened, first, Jesus went to a quiet place to pray, to hear what the Father wanted him to do that day. And you know what? We can do that too. Did you know that? We can go to a quiet place to pray, to listen to what the Father wants us to do, because Jesus' Father is our Father too. He's our Father in heaven. And you know what else?
What?
There's another place where we can learn what the Father wants us to do. Do you know where it might be? Where else might the Father teach us what he wants us to do? Where are God's words written?
I don't know.
Isla, do you know?
Bible.
Yeah, in the Bible. So we can read the Bible and we can pray so that we too can know what the Father wants us to do. Bye, friends.